Hello YouTube, this is Coda from Bowtied Media, and today we've got another installment of This Week in EDM, as we go over songs that came out this week in EDM. As always, there is a Spotify link down below for all the songs easy access listening, and just remember that this is just my opinion. Do not take them as gospel truths, so let's hop into it. First up, in the bad category, we've got Automhate and Vyle with ABOMINIO from the Port Zero Shipment 2 compilation. I'm really struggling to find the appeal for this track, honestly. It's a very minimalistic and empty rhythm track with a little variation in sound design and melody. I'm honestly shocked this is the most popular track from this compilation so far. Maybe this is just my rhythm hater coming out again, but not a fan of this one. And that's it. We're moving into the meh category. We've got DJ Diesel and LAYZ with Bring the Pain. It's Shaq, it's LAYZ. We kind of knew what we were going to get on paper, and I think we pretty much got exactly what we expected. It's fine, heavy, abrasive dubstep, and it's fine. Then we've got David Guetta and Cedric Gervais with A Better World. A simple electropop cut from David Guetta that is on the edge of actually being a really solid song. It's safe and commercial leaning, but isn't egregiously dull. I think the way the narrative is portrayed through the lyricism is a little silly, but otherwise it's a decent cut. Then we've got RZRKT with Timeless. A pretty typical Brittum cut from RZRKT that sounds like many other songs of the same style, at least the main drop movements. My actual favorite part of this track is the pre-drops and verses. The sound design is a bit more intentional, and I love the space the track provides in those moments. But again, when it comes to those drops, it resorts to a more typical rhythm sound. Then we got Sophon and Pegboard Nerds with Push, a fairly safe and standard drum and bass tune from Sophon and Pegboard Nerds that very much aligns with their current styles and production trends. It's a neat tune that definitely resides within a tone that we've heard from these guys a bunch this time, I will say. So decent, but also we've heard this one. Then we got Gyrofield with Bolete from the new Suspension of Belief EP. This newest project from Gyrofield is a deeply raw style of techno that teeters into some of the most dense and hypnotic production she's made yet. That being said, this one is maybe a little too wacky for me to truly appreciate. I do appreciate the sound design and think the production is fairly strong, but I just don't see myself really returning to this EP much. Then we got Shallou with Safe in Your Love from the new 25 Spring EP. The final installment of Shallou's set of Seasons EP is here, and as it's titled, yes, these tracks are bright, cheery, and hopeful as spring typically is. That being said, it's a pretty simple organic house tune that keeps things very calm. Then we got Indira, Paganotto, and Armin van Buuren with Dragon. Definitely an odd track stylistically with a kind of like spooky vocal, simple acoustic guitar strums, and then a pretty standard psytrance drop. I don't particularly hate any part of the song, but it just sounds so jumbled and messy. Then we got Arcando and Julian Jordan with Operator, a very short drum and bass tune with a driving beat and techno finale. All of which sounds generally good, but in the grand scheme of things falls into way too many modern tropes for me to really love on this thing. Then we got Eddie and X1Y2 with Ken. An incredibly heavy and dense dubstep cut from these two that sounds like it could easily be a Death Pact song. It's incredibly in your face, loud, and compressed to hell. I appreciate the genre switch up for Eddie in particular, but thought the execution was so-so in the end. Then we've got HIVEMIND with Bloodstream. I'm starting to get the feeling that this new supergroup style isn't really for me. The hardstyle, hard techno beat felt flat to me at times, while that final movement was definitely too intense and jagged for my own personal liking. Then we got Just a Gent with Activate. Atmospherically, this is very much a Just a Gent classic. It's got all the bells and whistles that I love from the man, yet the production elements are a little lackluster. It's a more dubstep-leaning cut, which is fairly abnormal for Just a Gent, and it's decent, but definitely not his strongest style. Then we got Teddy Killerz featuring Khazali with Fuse from the new Cooked LP out now by Teddy Killerz. A more simple and pulled back drum and bass tune with this one, and it's meant to be a little bit more relaxed, give that kind of carefree feel. That being said, they did keep things very safe with this track, and the record as a whole actually, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I did expect a little bit more oomph from these guys. Then hopping into the good category, we've got Slushy and Sapient Dream with Needed Your Heart. Julian using both of his Slushy and Sapient Dream aliases for this new track, and honestly, I get it. The song is a really good blending of each of his styles. This track is a more laid-back, almost garage, down-tempo tune that is one of the most atmospherically minded tracks from at least the Slushy side of things to date, I guess. I was actually surprised how much I enjoyed this one. Then we've got Rad Cat making his Ophelia debut with Miserable All the Time. A driven 4-on-the-floor style beat with lots of stutter synths going on. A nice track with a carefree and club-centric vibe to it. A good look for Ophelia, honestly, in terms of branching out with some more diversity in their sounds. Then we've got William Black, Fairlane, and Amity with Nightmare. Quite the triple collab of primarily melodic dubstep artists that do indeed team up for a melodic dubstep track. I think the vocal work is actually some of the strongest elements of the track, while that middle heavy brostep drop did match the narrative of the track and the lyricisms, but in a vacuum felt kind of lackluster. Otherwise, I thought the song was pretty solid. Then we've got Faint and DJ Sally with Bloom. A new label from Faint named Star Scent, and this appears to be the debut track of this label, and I'm totally on board for it. It's got that classically space-sounding drum and bass feel from Faint with a silky smooth mix. I'm intrigued to see where this label will go moving forward. Then we got Big Gigantic and Prob Cause with Highway, another single from Big Gigantic's upcoming record Fluorescence, and I must say that I loved hearing Prob Cause on this track in particular. Their flow was brilliant, cunning, and really fits well into the Big Gigantic production style. I'm hopefully expectant for this upcoming record. Then we've got Krewella with Crying on the Dance Floor. Krewella is back with their first track in over 3 years, and I'm a little surprised they went straight after the sound that is already dominating the industry right now with this techno production. But hey, it's fairly solid track in its own right. The kicks are maybe a touch too hot, but I do love the vocal delivery. Then we got Kaiwachi and Point North with Not Giving Up from the new Necrosis LP out now by Kaiwachi. This album as a whole has a lot going on, but this track in particular I was definitely a fan of. It feels like modern Kaiwachi and doesn't stray too far away from the production style that he shines best within. We got Nico and Control Freak with Power, a short and sweet hybrid trap cut with a strong bass house pull. The melody is catchy and the production is quite clean, despite being stylistically all over the place. Then we got Silkro with Future Sight. Silkro to me is balancing this line of being an emerging artist while also having a decent amount of skin in the game already, but regardless, this is a more rigid trap song with snappy percussion work and a very pulled back transition movement. Then we got Odd Kid Out and Eliminate featuring Adelaide Adams with Surface. A great new hybrid track song that, yes, is quite short again, but does a lot in the time it gives both vocally and with its overarching production. Odd Kid Out and Eliminate's own styles really shine through on this collab, which is what you typically really want to see when it comes to these duets. Then we got Salute and Peter Xan with Gabeski, a super unique track that primarily resides within that bass house genre, but has a bit of a garage and speed house kind of pull throughout the whole thing. It's a bouncy tune with a simple melody that really gets stuck in your head. I was a little hesitant with this track at first, but have grown to really love it since, I guess, already the weekend. Then we got Fox Stevenson with What Are You? Wow. The now final single before the album's release, Fox Stevenson turns up the cutesy factor of this track to 11 with a bouncy and joy-filled production. It's probably the most explicitly electro-pop style from Fox Stevenson to date, and I love hearing that he can really branch into some slightly different territories and keep his core sound very much still intact. Then we got Zomboy with Royal Blood. Just a classic, streamlined dubstep track through and through, and it's great. It does have some drum step elements to it as well, which is also a nice plus in my books. Otherwise, it's just a kind of classic dubstep Zomboy song. And moving into the standout category, we've got More Kismet and Wherefore with Y2K. I cannot express how much I love this modern More Kismet production. The balance of flashy, colorful sound design mixed with a more typical 4-on-the-floor beat, all wrapped in this innate sense of nostalgia that just clicks together seamlessly. Another More Kismet banger. Then we got Barely Alive with Hold Me, a vibrant new Barely Alive track that is flashy, uplifting, and truly shimmers the whole time. It's another shorter tune, but my goodness, this is probably some of my favorite Barely Alive production in the past couple of years, if not half decade. It's so different, and it so works. Then we got Bad Computer featuring Gold with Connected. Absolutely fantastic new short tune from Bad Computer. Has a bit of a funky, groovy hip-hop edge to it, and it's a style that really resonates with me personally. Bad Computer has been on a tear in 2025 so far, and I think this is his best track yet of the year. Even though this track is, yes, on the shorter side of things. And our emerging artist spotlight of the week goes to Kaixo with Pretender. This track has this uplifting nostalgia vibe to it that very much cares about the atmosphere first and foremost. It's primarily an electro-leaning track with heavy influences from Daft Punk on the vocals. A solid track that finishes strong. But that's been this week in EDM. Let me know what you guys think about any all songs in the comment section below. But other than that, I'm Dakota from Bowtied Media, and I'll see you guys in another video.